This video shows you how to start Chapter 9, which focuses on elevation views for the residential house. Okay, so you're going to want to start by opening Chapter 9 starter file, which you'll find in my shared drive with you under starter files. I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, the file just opened. This should be the view that you see right away, which is where you left off in Chapter 8, which was creating ceilings. So now we're going to switch to the first floor plan. And from here, we're going to create an elevation view. So an elevation view is a view that simulates looking at the house from the outside, as if you're standing in the yard. You already have 4 of these elevation views, as you know, because of these elevation tags. And if you come down here, you'll see elevation views listed here. But in this case, you're going to create a new one. For example, if a customer wants to see a specific part of the house or you want to focus on that for some reason, that's what we're going to do today. So you do this by clicking on the View tab, and you click Elevation. And now you click wherever on the floor plan you want your elevation view to be, and we're going to click right here. You might be saying, why are we doing this? Because we already have one there, but we're going to create an elevation view that focuses just on the front entryway of the house. Okay, so now you'll see you have an elevation view here. We're going to rename this because elevation 1A doesn't really give you much of a description. And we're going to name it South Main Entry because we're going to look at the main entry and it's from the south. Okay, now to see the actual view you just created, you can double click here. And there's the view. It looks a lot like your other south view. But we're going to change that. So go back to your first floor plan. And now we're going to see how this is affected by how you manipulate what views are created. So if I were to check in any of these boxes, it would also create an elevation view looking in the direction that these triangles are pointing at. You can also rotate your view. So if you have an angled wall, you can make it be perpendicular, but we're not going to do that right now. Okay. Now I want you to explore what the different settings for the elevation view are. If you zoom out, click on this little triangle, which is the triangle that defines your view, and you'll see a few different options here. So this is called the cutting plane. You can drag this so that you see a different region of your house. So if I drag this forward of the front door, so behind it, almost inside the house, you can, actually I'm going to tile my views so that you can see this better. You all know how to tile your views. So now you can see, I'm going to close this one that started us when we opened the project. So now if I drag this, you can see that the front of the house is cut off. And now we're looking inside the house. I'm going to back this up and you'll see that it's showing the entire house again. Next, I want you to notice what this far clipping plane does, which is this, this dashed line here. So grab the blue arrows. If I pull this so that it's in line with those front windows, you're only going to see what is up to this plane. So think of this as a plane that you're defining. The reason you're seeing the roof is because the roof has an overhang. If I go back a little bit more, you'll see just this part of the house and not the garage, because as you can see over here, the garage is getting cut off. And then lastly, if I zoom out in this view, you can drag these blue dots so that you're seeing less of the house. You have 2 controls to do the same thing. You can grab it here or you can grab it in this view as well. It does the same thing. So now you'll see, now that I changed it in that view, you can see that it moved in this view. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the work to make a view look like what you need to then make it look like. So when I come back to the video, you're going to see a view and I need you to recreate that view from this point on. So I'm going to pause the video now. Okay, we're back. I manipulated my view so that this is what I'm looking at. So you want the view to cut off just past your entry level roof, just down from the foundation walls where they start. and up past your roof here. I'm going to turn on the color here. You should also see your roof here. So I think I might have, I'll give a pause here for a second. Okay. So I would like your view, instead of being shaded, to be hidden line, but I want to explain something quickly. If you notice, the roof gets cut off, which is why I just paused and I thought that doesn't look right. So that you understand, the reason for that is because of where I had the crop region set. If you wanted the roof to show up the whole way, you would have to push your crop region line back. But I'm not going to show you that because that'll give you the answer for where your lines need to be. So I'm going to turn this back off of shaded. And the last thing that I hadn't shown you yet how to do is get rid of this box around this, because this makes it look like the roof comes up here and you don't want that. So to get rid of that, you have to turn off or hide your crop region. You can do that down here. Whoops, you have to be in that window. Sorry, in that window, and then click the button from that window. There we go. And that's what you want it to look like. You can snip this image and upload that to Classroom.